Welcome back to Crypto Corner, your go-to source for all things crypto. Today we're diving into one of the most unique currencies in crypto market, altcoin season, or Altseason for short. As more and more investors flock into altcoins in search of high returns, it's important to have a solid strategy in place to make the most of this market phenomenon. So in this episode, I will be sharing some of my tips and strategies for taking advantage of altcoin season and maximizing your profits. So sit back and let's dive in. Cryptocurrencies have become a popular investment option for many people over the years. They've become pretty much mainstream already, and with that, the concept of altcoins has also become more prevalent. Altcoins are alternative cryptocurrencies that are not Bitcoin, and while they may not have the same market capitalization or name recognition as Bitcoin, they can still be valuable investments in their own right. In fact, you might have seen plenty of posts on social media that go something like this: Bitcoin will not make you rich, altcoins will. Or maybe Bitcoin can double your money, but altcoins will make you a millionaire. Well, there are all kinds of reiterations of this statement. I don't need to show you too many of these to get the point. I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about. This means that Bitcoin has already become too expensive, and even though its price continues to go up, it does it in a much more restrained fashion compared to altcoins. Especially some of them can sometimes jump more than 100x, 1000x, even 10,000x during a bull market. And that's true. For instance, here is a meme coin, Shiba Inu, a technically useless token created on the back of the hype surrounding another meme coin, Doge, which is favored by Elon Musk. The media attention that Doge gained gave birth to plenty of other meme coins, and Shiba Inu is just one of these. It was launched in 2021 during the peak of the last bull market and delivered one of the greatest returns in financial market history ever, soaring by 43,800,000%. A perfectly timed investment of just $10 in that year would have turned into more than $4 million already. Astounding, right? But please, don't rush into buying Shiba now. This is not what I'm saying. This ship has sailed. This is just one example of how some altcoins can go to unthinkable levels purely on the back of hype and successful marketing. Shiba to this day is just a meme coin with no use case and a bunch of promised upcoming upgrades that could turn it into a coin with utility, but that's not yet materialized. Its price went down by 95% during the bear cycle last year, and it's recovering now, slowly, but it's still 87% down from its all-time high, so this is by no means a call to buy Shiba. And since I mentioned Doge, the mother of all meme coins, launched in 2013, way before most of us had any interest in crypto, it's another great example of altcoin success stories, despite zero utility. During the bull market of 2021, Doge famously won the affection of the world's richest man, Elon Musk, who, through numerous tweets, managed to pump its price by more than 21,000%. The token jumped from around 1 cent of a dollar to a whopping 73 cents at its peak in May 2021. It was the biggest success story for many TikTokers back then. People were posting immense gains, but sadly they didn't sell. These were mostly noobs who didn't know how to capitalize on these gains, and as the hype subsided, they just watched their millions melt away. The coin is 88% down from its all-time high, and that's been the case for over a year now. Most of these TikTokers didn't sell because they were waiting for $1 price tag or $10 price tag, whatever they were told, which is not how you play this game. They could have sold at 70 cents, 60 cents, 50 cents even would have been a wise move. The coin is 8 cents today. Why wait when you can sell high and buy low again? Or even better, buy something else that will perform better in the meantime. Okay, so let's talk about the phenomenon known as Altseason and how to make the most of it. First, what is an Altseason and how to know when it occurs? So, Altseason is a term used to describe a period of time in which altcoins experience a significant increase in value relative to Bitcoin. In other words, they outperform Bitcoin and they do it by huge margin. During this time, investors shift their focus away from Bitcoin and towards altcoins, resulting in a surge in demand for the altcoins and a subsequent increase in their prices. Altseason usually occurs when Bitcoin is experiencing a period of consolidation or stagnation. During these times, investors may become impatient with Bitcoin and just start looking for alternatives with better chances for higher returns in the meantime. This can lead to increased demand for altcoins, which in turn, of course, drives their prices. Consolidation for Bitcoin means that the price is moving mostly sideways. Of course, it is never just flat, but the volatility is very low, with small ups and downs, and mostly sideways. If Bitcoin is making bigger moves, money will either stay in Bitcoin or it will go into stablecoins during big drops, for instance. So in this case, altcoins are not likely to boom. For a true alt season, we need Bitcoin to stay relatively stable for a while. So how can you identify when an alt season is occurring? Well, there are a few key indicators to look out for. First, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance refers to the percentage of the overall cryptocurrency market that is made up of Bitcoin only. When Bitcoin dominance is high, it generally indicates that investors are more focused on Bitcoin rather than altcoins. Conversely, when Bitcoin dominance is low, it will indicate that investors are shifting their focus to altcoins. Then, altcoin market cap. Another indicator of altcoin season is the market capitalization of altcoins. When altcoin market cap is rising rapidly, it is a sign that investors are pouring money into altcoins and that altcoin season is in full swing. Social media activity is another one. It can also be a very good indicator of altcoin season. If there is a lot of buzz and excitement surrounding certain altcoins on social media, it may be a sign that investors are becoming more interested in these coins and that altcoin season is underway. And lastly, here is one very useful tool, the Token Metrics AI-powered tool that shows us when we are in alt season or Bitcoin season. It's a tool they released just about a year ago, and it's so simple. I use Token Metrics a lot because they have many tools and metrics that help me in my market analysis, and this is a free one, so make use of it. My invite link is in the description below, so grab it from there. As you see right now, we are deep in the Bitcoin territory. We dropped there on 8th of March, which is when I exited all of my altcoin positions, as I don't really want to be a bag holder during these low periods for alts. This tool alone can help you prevent major losses. As I said, why would you hold a token that is losing value when you can exit when it's high, and if you really want to have it in your portfolio, then buy it again when it's low? Alright, so let's talk about what do you do during an alt season. Well, here are a few tips. Always remember that alt season is not going to last for too long, so be prepared to sell when the market turns. Buying tokens during an alt season is too risky because you are buying them during a peak of the market, so you are buying high. Depending on how long it lasts, you can see your tokens gain hundreds percentage points in value, but be sure to sell during peaks or as soon as you see that they hit a resistance and they start correcting. Don't be a bag holder. It can take many months or even years for a token to ever reach its previous peak, and some never do. Ideally, you want to enter during the early days of an alt season and exit during its peak, or at least in the early days of the subsequent downtrend. A downtrend always follows, guys, remember that. Also, keep an eye on Bitcoin's dominance. Bitcoin's dominance tends to decrease during altcoin season, which means that altcoins have more room for growth. If you see the Bitcoin dominance bouncing back up or any signs of a trend reversal, it can be your sell signal, or at least an alert for it. Diversify. While altcoin season can be a great opportunity to make money, it's important to remember that altcoins are generally riskier investments than Bitcoin, so it's a good idea to diversify your portfolio across a range of altcoins rather than putting all your eggs in one basket. This can help you minimize the risks and maximize the returns. Also, do your research. Before investing in any altcoins, be sure to do your research and look beyond the top cryptocurrencies. I mean, during altcoin season, many smaller and lesser known altcoins may experience significant growth. Keep an eye on the market and identify emerging altcoins with strong potential. Sometimes we see shitcoins or meme coins. In other words, coins with bad fundamentals make quite a splash too. This is not uncommon, but it's usually driven by hype and lots of social media promotion, so keep an eye on what people are talking about online. This can help you spot a winner early on. This is very much a gamble though, it's not for everyone. Altcoin season can also be influenced by market sentiment, so look out for altcoins with positive sentiment, such as those with a strong community, active social media presence, or positive news coverage. Stay up to date with the latest news and market trends, and identify potential catalysts that could drive demand for certain altcoins. Look for altcoins with upcoming product releases, partnerships, or adoption by major institutions. One way to do that successfully is by being a subscriber to this video podcast, because I post news all the time. Also, you can check out the CoinMarketCap's calendar page. There are other such websites too. This is just one of them. This is where you're going to find events before they occur. Also, use technical analysis. It can help you identify entry and exit points for altcoin trading. Look for price patterns, support and resistance levels, and use indicators such as moving averages, relative strength index indicator. Also, learn to use the Fibonacci retracement tool to be able to identify the most likely resistance or support levels. I use it all the time here on this channel when I do technical analysis, so even by just watching what I do, you can get the hang of it. Also, altcoin season can be very volatile, so it's important to practice proper risk management. Set stop loss orders, use trailing stops, and only invest what you can afford to lose. I know that stop loss orders can sometimes work against you in crypto trading. There are many times when the price would go down just enough to hit your stop loss, only to recover the next day and you can get left out of the next rally. But it's better to re-enter when you see that the rally continues. This way you're still safer. If the pullback goes deeper though, it turns into a full-on correction, the price can dive by another 20, 30, 50% in the coming days, so it's better to be safe than sorry. And be cautious of pumps and dumps. Altcoin season can attract scammers who try to manipulate the market with pump and dump schemes. Be cautious of these. Also, don't underestimate the power of FOMO. Altcoin season can be driven by FOMO, fear of missing out, which can cause investors to make impulsive decisions, and that's never a good idea. Be mindful of your emotions and avoid making rash decisions. If a coin has already pumped by 80% today, maybe it's best to avoid it. It could go another 50% by tomorrow, but it could also be the end of the pump. And if you buy a token during such a peak, at least be prepared to sell it right away if it starts dumping. Don't hold it out of fear of losses. Take the loss, move on to another one. Buying in FOMO has wrecked many portfolios. I've done it too. A stop loss can save you from being a back holder, so definitely use it. And keep an eye on trading volumes. They can provide valuable insight into market demand for certain altcoins. Look out for altcoins with high trading volumes and liquidity, as these are more likely to experience sustained growth during an out season. Also, you want to be able to quickly jump in and out of a trade if necessary, and this is only possible when there is enough liquidity. Finally, it's important to set realistic expectations for your investments during an out season. While some altcoins may experience massive gains, others may perform not as well. Be prepared for volatility and don't get too greedy. If a coin starts a pullback, it can be a sign that its peak has passed, so don't hold it for dear life. Out seasons are not very long. The biggest altcoin season to date occurred in late 2017, early 2018. During this period, the prices of many altcoins surged to all-time highs, with some experiencing gains of several thousand% over this period. This altcoin season was fueled by a combination of factors, including increased investor interest in cryptocurrencies at the time, the rise of the ICOs, and a general sense of hype and speculation surrounding the market. However, the out season eventually came to an end, and many altcoins experienced significant losses as the market corrected. We had many other such occurrences since then. During the last bull cycle in 2020 and 2021, we also saw several out seasons that were usually shorter, often lasting for a couple of weeks or up to a month. Remember, the best out season happens during Bitcoin consolidation periods, and Bitcoin doesn't move sideways for far too long. Once Bitcoin starts rallying up or down, money flows out of altcoins again. It either goes back into Bitcoin or into stablecoins if Bitcoin is taking a dive. So play Altseasons with extra caution and the mindset that it is a short-term trade. If you follow these tips, you will be way better off than 90% of the traders out there. Most don't really know how to navigate these markets. And here is a reminder to always keep your crypto in cold storage, guys. Don't leave it on exchanges. One of the cold wallets that I use is OneKey Classic, the most inconspicuous device that I have. Paperlight and compact, and it's under $100, yet it supports thousands of cryptocurrencies and has Bluetooth connectivity, making it really easy to use. I recently posted a detailed review of the OneKey Classic, which you will find in the description below, so go check it out. Alright, well, this wraps up today's episode of Crypto Corner, guys. I hope this brought value to you. Make sure to show your support, leave a like and a comment below. Also, in the description below, I dropped links to all of the top crypto services that I'm personally using and that I recommend to you. If you like this type of content, hit the subscribe button. I post 3 times a week to help you expand your understanding of the crypto space. And while you're here, just pick another one of my videos. And I'll see you there.